I love my kids, but...
Am I the only one?
I have a confession.
Coffee shop.
Confessions.
Wow, are we bantering?
Hi, I'm Kristen Chase, and welcome to Coffee Shop Confessions. Every day on CafeMom, lots of moms share their deepest secrets. Secrets they'd never tell anyone until now. Joining me are fellow parents, Julia, Tia, and Simon, to weigh in on today's confession. All right, let's jump right in. Now, this confession is absolutely real, but we've hid the mom's identity. Let's just hope her husband doesn't see this one. Let's watch.
Whenever my husband is really late coming home, I sometimes think the worst and wonder if there's been a terrible accident, which would be absolutely devastating. But then I start to fantasize about what I would do with all of his life insurance money, and that sounds horrible, but I mean, I've always wanted a pool in the backyard, or like that trip to Paris I would take that I wanted to take since I was a kid. I would leave my 13-year-old twins with my mom, and I'd just spend an amazing week at cafes and shopping. That's usually when his key hits the door and I'm snapped back to reality. And I feel guilty but disappointed at the same time.
Oh, it's just so sad.
Okay, the bottom line, there is something else going on, because to fantasize is one thing. Give it up for the fantasy.
Yeah.
However, to be disappointed that he's alive, there's something else going on.
Yeah, I agree to that, but I mean, there is the thing though of being like in mid-fantasy, like where you're just like, wow, I could do this, and I could do this, and I could do this, and then suddenly you're like, snap back in. That's where where the hint of disappointment comes from.
Yeah.
As opposed to, because she also is feeling guilty, which is like she's saying, you know what, I shouldn't be doing this, but I kind of was there, and now suddenly I'm not in Paris anymore, and I gotta look at my husband.
I gotta put
and
the croissant
I'm gonna be
down,
doing
And I
dinner
gotta raise
now.
these children.
Doing the laundry.
Oh.
No, that's a lot. I don't mean that as a pity thing, but I think it's fair to want to get away. And especially if you do feel trapped in your life, sometimes fantasy can be the only escape if you don't have the financial means or whatever to
Right.
go
Can I say
out.
something?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Out of all of this whole confession, the thing that I think of is that she's actually revealing her biggest fantasy in this is to go to Paris. So
Right.
what a great thing to share that part with her husband, and they start saving money every month for that to come true, like for their anniversary in 8 months, or you know, that they save up a little bit and then they celebrate instead of the whole death thing,
Or-
which is such a bummer.
Such a bummer.
That's a good way to make it a positive.
That is a
Saying,
bummer.
you know, to like extract the best out of that fantasy,
But see,
save up for Paris
My
and do
husband
it.
travels a lot, though. And
Yeah.
so I understand this sort of, okay, if he's late, what am I gonna do? Is there something wrong? You know, I've got 4 kids. How am I going to make it if he's not there? So I have to be honest. I mean, I've thought of all those things. I think it's important, actually,
It
to
is
think
important.
those things through.
Fantasize about winning the lottery.
Right.
And not necessarily
the money in a
him
nice way.
dying, so she can take a trip alone. There's a conversation that needs to be, you know, between the two of them about what's going on, that she would think, the best way for me to have some time to myself is for you to be dead.
All right, guys, what's the final word? What do you say?
Talk to your therapist.
Talk to your husband about the Paris fantasy part.
Yeah, I like the idea of them saving up for money, you know, saving up their money and then going on a trip together.
Well, there you have it. The panel has spoken, but we want to know from you. Have you ever had thoughts like this? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to CafeMom Studios on YouTube to catch more episodes of Coffee Shop Confessions. And share your own confessions with us in the Mom Confessions group on CafeMom. See you next time.
See the
I think it's a
will.
great way to flip it around.
Exactly.
And you know,